Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for a Pucket with Jo. We've got a loaded slate today to go over. Firstly, let's just recap how we did in yesterday's games. Now, I was so high on looking at the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avs to come out, get that 3-2 style game, taking those exact scores on both sides. The Avs did their share getting the 3 goals, but Vegas unable to get any goals on the board. We did have a goalie come in for Vegas. Adin Hill was not out there. So disappointing finish in that. We did cash the under 1.5 in the first period. That gave us a plus money. Again, Adin Hill not in goal. We weren't able to hit those goalie props either. We did have success between Montreal and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers team total, my favorite bet of the day, under 3.5, nicely cashed at minus 118. Shane Monahan got that anytime goal at plus 280. Caulfield didn't get on the board at plus 190. No one tip it there. Shots on goal, 4+ shots on goal was minus 108. So that was the 3-2 style game we needed in that later one. The under 6.5, nicely cashed. The Stars on the money line. The Stars got the win yesterday, right? You guys, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. In that one, I tell you, there's been so many games that I've been going over today. Yeah, the Stars got the 7-2 win. So it didn't stay under the 7.5. Now, Jason Robinson, he scored a goal early. That was called back for offside, but we did get him. He did get that second goal in the back of the net, plus 160. So the anytime goal came in nicely. We got the Stars puck line minus 1.5 at plus 128. And I said I'd take that before I took the Wild. So the puck line in the first period was the main bet of that one, laying the half a goal at plus 138. And the Stars team total over 3.5. So we had a good day there. I hope you guys are ready to make some money today with this large slate. I've got so many things I'm looking at and liking. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. James, looking at that first period between Edmonton and the Red Wings. And I really do think it's got to be a high scoring one. I think those goals come racking in. So I do like the over 2+ goals in that one. I do think it's probably 2-1 start to that one. So yeah, the Flyers, that was scary to start. Happy Thursday to you guys. Let's jump right into it. The under 1.5, under 6.5 hit at least. Yeah, that was really solid bets. Thank you, Doug. So let's get making some money today, you guys. We're going to start off with the first game here. Let me just pull up my odds here at FanDuel. We have the Ottawa Senators taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Opening it up. Dad's trip for the Calgary Flames tonight versus Arizona Coyotes. Before I forget to tell you guys that, I was listening to Ryan Huska talking about the dads on the trip and everything just before coming on. So I think Calgary has a good chance. But looking at the Ottawa Senators versus the Buffalo Sabres, a plus 104 here for the Ottawa Senators, minus 125 for the Buffalo Sabres. Total 6.5. 6.5, so grossly juiced to the over at minus 144. But I think that is the only way you can take that total. Looking at both of these teams coming out in this one, it's got to be a high scoring affair here. The Ottawa Senators, they won that last matchup December 31st. They were able to get 5 goals, only allowed that one, but Buffalo dominated that game on shots on goal. They had 46 shots on Forsberg, who is in net tonight. Now, Anton Forsberg comes out with a 3.34 goals against average and a .889 a save percentage. I don't think he'll be able to replicate here what he did in the last matchup for the Ottawa Senators. I do expect the Buffalo Sabres to be able to get the goals on him tonight in this matchup. Now, the last time they faced up as well, Levi was in net for the Buffalo Sabres. We're not going to see him tonight. We'll see Lankican in goal for them. He's got a 3.01 goals against average, save percentage of .889. Now, this is our third matchup of the season. Back in October, we saw that high-scoring 6-4 win for the Buffalo Sabres, and that's kind of where I'm going with the scoreline for this game. I do think it nicely goes over the 6.5, and that's why you're going to have to lay juice there. What I'm looking at here and where my concerns come for the Ottawa Senators, and now they've lost the last 4. Calgary on Tuesday, they got a 6-3 win on the road, but still their road record is so terrible this season. Sitting 4-12 on the road this season, it's just not a team that I can really get behind. They've lost and failed to cover the puck line in their last 5 games as a dog as well. So I don't want to put my money on the Ottawa Senators, even though this was a team that I really did believe in their talent of this team to make the playoffs. And it's not looking like this team has any ability to do so at this point in the season. Now, the Buffalo Sabres team total is an interesting way to look in this one. You can take them over 3.5 goals in this. It's coming in at minus 106. And with Forsberg and how many goals he's been allowing, and the Ottawa Senators defense, and more the lack of defense instead of saying the defense, they're allowing 3.64 goals per game on average, 31.6 shots on goal. Their kill isn't strong at 71.4%. So I do think the Sabres will be able to convert on their power play. They don't have a strong power play. It's only at 13.9, but on the Ottawa Senators' lack of defense and lack of power play or kills, that they should be able to get this done. So I think this goes over 6.5. I think the Sabres team total, they're the team I trust more to go over the 3.5. Now, when we look at a couple of player props in this one, because I am liking the over, Tage Thompson here for the anytime goal. It's coming in at plus 145. He was held off in the last game versus Seattle. He didn't even have a shot on goal in that last game, but I do expect him to come in nicely versus the Ottawa Senators and get on the board. Alex Touche here, he's coming in at plus 190 for the anytime goal, plus 150 for 4+ shots on goal. And I like this. He had 6 shots on goal in his last game out, 4 in the game before. So I do think, and he had 1 goal in each as well in those last couple. So I do think those goals could come in for him. And then Jack Quinn, more of a long shot here for shots on goal, 3+ shots on goal at plus 150 at 3 shots on goal versus the Seattle Kraken. And I just look at the defense here. This defense is lacking for the Ottawa Senators. So when we look at the other side of the puck, Josh Norris is out. Oh, and Jeff Skinner is out for the Ottawa Senators as well. Brady Tkachuk, someone you always have to circle here. He's going to get up for this game. Drake Batherson, a different player to look at here. Now, this would be a long shot to look at Jake Batherson. Shot on goals, 3+ shots on goal. That's coming in at minus 108. He had an assist and 2 shots on goal versus Calgary, so he's getting a little bit more into the mix. So I do like it as well. Doug going with both teams to score in the first period. I would like to see it, and I think the Ottawa Senators absolutely have to come out and score in the first period as well. Lauren, shout out to you. A lot of goals throughout the league tonight. I am expecting a lot of goals as well. There's only really one game I'm really loving the under in. The rest are goal kind of games. Blackwood Road starts are so bad. That is very true. You got to get after that plus money, you guys. The Sens and the Kraken. You're liking the Sens and the Kraken tonight. Yeah, I haven't talked to my mom. I got to ask her if she loved that win. So we'll talk to her. She's still down in Australia, not freezing up here. Okay, let's look at the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, minus 350 here for the Canes, plus 275 for the Ducks, total 6.5. Now the 6.5 juice to the under at minus 122, plus 100 to the over. If you think the Ducks can keep it tight, you can take them plus 1.5 on that puck line at plus 115. The Carolina Hurricanes for the blowout win, minus 1.5 at minus 138. When we look at the Ducks versus the Carolina Hurricanes, they've won the last 3 straight. They won the last one in October, 6-3. They got 3 goals in that first period, and then the Canes were able to lock them down a little bit more, get some goals on the board in the second and the third, but still, it was too little, too late in that one. I do think the Ducks could cover this puck line plus 1.5, but I don't want to have my money there. This is not a team that I trust and not a team that I feel confident in and coming in and betting. Looking at the goalie matchup, I do think Carolina is the only way I can look in this one and just trying to find a way to bet them here. I like them in the first period on that puck line, laying the half a goal in the, I'm looking at their team total. That's what I'm doing. I was like, the half a goal, you're still paying too much juice. So I was trying to look for a way to get you guys some plus money. I like their team total in the first period. It's over 1.5 for the team total. You're getting that at plus 192 for the Carolina Hurricanes. I expect this team to come out and get 2 goals in that first period on John Gibson. Now, you can take the over 1.5 in the first period. It's kind of the safer bet. You're going to lay juice at minus 130. I do like it better than the puck line for the Canes because I wasn't getting nice numbers on the puck line for that first period there. I do think this is one, if you're looking at the Carolina Hurricanes for player props, you look at those power play points in this one. The Anaheim Ducks take way too many penalties. And then we look at the Carolina Hurricanes. Their power play is elite. They're converting at 28.7%. Which is second best overall in the league. They're also firing like crazy. They're averaging 33.2 shots on goal per game. The Anaheim Ducks giving up 32.7. Their kill is relatively strong, sitting 15th in the league at 80%. So it can shut them down a couple times in this one, but with the amount of penalties taken here by the Ducks, I really do think Carolina is in for a big night, especially getting us at power play points here. So Brett Burns here for the power play point. It's a tongue twister. Plus 270. Seth Jarvis as well. I love him at plus 320 for that power play point. Okay, that's what I'm doing with that one. Rested goalie for Carolina. You are right. Both teams to score in the first period. That, I think, was the first one. And I just saw that. The Canes puck line. I agree with you. It should be the Carolina Hurricanes on the puck line. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if the Ducks somehow pull off that puck line. I'm just looking at their schedules ahead, you guys. We look at the Carolina Hurricanes. They have the Penguins on deck on Saturday, the Kings on Monday. So they got 2 pretty hard teams. Ducks are a team that a lot of people want to look past here because they're not that much of competition. And I'm sorry, Anaheim fans. I can't believe I just said that. It's the Ducks, you guys. Their record on the season, they're sitting 8-9 on the road, sitting 14-25-1 overall. They're struggling out there. Now, for the Anaheim Ducks, they have the Lightning on the road on Saturday, Panthers Monday, Caps on Tuesday. They have won 7 of the last 10 meetings, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to cover the puck line if they play a clean game, but I don't think the Ducks can come out here and play a clean game. So we're going to move on to the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Current odds on this one, I know you guys were already talking about that first period, 2+ goals. The total for this is 7.5. If you think it's going to go over 7.5, it's plus 138 to the over, minus 170 to the under 7.5. Not nice numbers there. Now, the puck line for the Edmonton Oilers, minus 1.5, plus 134. Money lines minus 164. You know that's too juicy. The Red Wings plus 1.5 on the puck line. You can't really take either. That's coming in at minus 160 and plus 136 on the money line. Looking at this matchup here, Alex Leon is in net for the Red Wings. He's got a 2.51 goals against average and a save percentage of 0.920. Pickard is coming in for the Edmonton Oilers instead of Skinner. He's got a 2.82 goals against average and a 0.904 save percentage. This team has been so impressive. Can they sustain this? Are they in for a little bit of regression is the biggest question here. Looking at the Edmonton Oilers, they have a very strong power play. Both of these teams actually have really solid kills. The kill for Edmonton, 80.8, 12th overall in the league. And the kill for the Red Wings, 81.6, so 11th overall. It's just a power play. And if the Red Wings get in the box, the Edmonton Oilers will be able to convert on that power play. They're converting at 25.8%. Whereas the Red Wings, they're only at 21.9. It's a couple percent here or there, but with Connor McDavid and that top line, Leon Draisaitl, Bouchard, this team is coming out so strong for the Edmonton Oilers. This is game 2 on the road. They have Montreal on deck on Saturday. And looking here at the Red Wings, this is the first game home off a 3-game road trip. So that's normally a place I like to fade these teams. They won their last 3, though. That was a really hot road trip. They beat the Ducks on Sunday 3-2. I'm looking at some player props in this one because I like that over. I'm not loving that we have to take it at 7.5. So this game's more of a player prop one for me. I think first period over 2 is a really solid way to look. Edmonton, some of these games, they've been either scoring a lot in that first period, allowing those goals to come in, or we've got scoreless. And that kind of scares me a little bit because this defense has really been stepping up. They've been giving the support, only allowing 28.5 shots on goal per game, fourth best overall in the league. So that is impressive in itself. The the Columbus, no, the Detroit Red Wings, forgot which team I was talking about. They've come out so strong offensively, though. So it's one thing, like looking at this game, could this one go to overtime? It absolutely could. If the Red Wings stay out of the box, I do think we'll see a super competitive one here. So I lean to the over, I lean to overtime. But I do think it's player props. So I'm going to look at Leon Draisaitl, 2+ points for the Edmonton Oilers. He's coming in at plus 154 for 2+ points. Evan Bouchard, I'd look at him as well. I actually like Evan Bouchard for the anytime goal. Then when we look at the Red Wings here, Dylan Larkin, 2+ points, coming in at plus 220. Alex DeBrincat, you only have to take 1+ point. You're going to lay juice at minus 142, but DeBrincat has been playing hot as of late, and then you can look at Patrick Kane. So this is going to be an interesting one to see who can pull off the win here. Edmonton's just been rolling so hot that it almost scares me. It's like it's still defense and goaltending that I don't trust, even though they start to lock down defensively. But against a team like the Red Wings, that has that powerful offense, I think this could be a struggle. They're averaging that 3.55 goals per game, 29.8 shots on goal. Their power play is converting at the 21.9%. And then Edmonton is averaging that 3.54 goals per game. So probably you look at, I don't know, the player props. That's all I want to touch, you guys. This game makes me nervous here. Let's look at the next game on the board. The LA Kings taking on the Florida Panthers. You guys, this is one I have circled to the under, and the books have circled to the under 6.5 as well at minus 132 on that money line to the under. The over, you're going to get plus money at plus 108. The LA Kings rolling in here as an underdog at plus 112. Now, this team has been absolutely struggling out there on the ice, and the Florida Panthers have been dominating. The Florida Panthers are coming in at minus 134. This is going to be, I think it's got to be a defensive battle here, you guys. I'm really looking for the strength of defense to come out on both sides of the puck. I do think it stays under the total. I think the first period stays under 1.5, and I'm going to lean on the no goals in the first 10 minutes at plus 122. It's a scary bet to take, but I really do think it can come in and cash. I will be really shocked if this first period is a high-scoring one. With the struggles the LA Kings have been having, they really need to come out tight defensively. This is the power of this team. This team only allowing an average of 2.43 goals per game, first best overall in the league. 27 shots on goal, third best in the league, and their kill is the best in the league at 87.3. But then we turn to the Florida Panthers, and this is a team that's actually playing cleaner this season. I really love what we're seeing out of Matthew Tkachuk. It's like he's maturing in front of our eyes out there. Unless he's playing his brother, we're not seeing those big scraps out of Matthew Tkachuk like we did in previous seasons. So this team is allowing that 2.48 goals per game, third best overall in the league. 27 shots on goal. So these two teams are tied for second for shots on goal allowed, and their kills coming in fourth at 84.4%. So we look at those power plays. The Florida Panthers do have a stronger power play. It's converting at 21.6. The LA Kings converting at 19.5. LA Kings so strong on the road, and this team has to break this losing streak. They've lost their last 6. They won the last matchup back in November over the Florida Panthers, a 2-1. The value is on the Kings tonight. I just don't think I can get there. I love that no goal in the first 10 minutes. I think that is a recipe for success for both of these teams to really lock down on the defensive side of the puck. Now, if you are looking at goal scorers, like I said, Cam Talbot in for the LA Kings, 2.20 goals against average, save percentage of 0.922, and Bobrovsky here for the Florida Panthers. Now, he's got a 2.45 goals against average and a 0.911 save percentage. Looking at the player props, I'm not going to touch anyone from the LA Kings. I'm not trusting in this team right now with their struggles that they've had. So what I'm going to do is there's 2 players that I'm really liking here for the Florida Panthers. Since they've been on this hot streak, both of these players have been hot. Sam Reinhart here for the anytime goals coming in at plus 160. He's had 6 goals in the last 4 games and 1 assist. And then when we look at Matthew Tkachuk here, absolute fire. The anytime goals coming in at plus 180, the 2+ points at plus 215. He's had 6 goals and 6 assists in the last 4 games. So he's been mind-blowingly good. I would look at him before Sam Reinhart. I think both of these players could get the points, could get the goal tonight. The problem is it's a lower scoring game in my opinion, but I do think when those goals come in, it will be out of one of these guys. So best of luck with that one, you guys. Let me know what you're liking in this matchup. Okay. The Sharks taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Let me just pull up the odds for this one. How is everyone's Thursday going, by the way? It is so cold here. I'm not venturing outside. It's minus 27 Celsius right now. Tomorrow's going to be even colder, minus 36 Celsius. We're just freezing. Freezing. The fireplace is on in the house. The heat's at full. Well, feels like it's at full. The Sharks. Let me just see. I'm just trying to find odds here at FanDuel, you guys. The San Jose Sharks are coming in at plus 132 on the road versus the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens at minus 160. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, so this is an interesting spot for them. Sam Montague in goal, though, and you guys know how much faith I have in him. The total is coming in at 6.5, minus 142 to the under, plus 116 to the over. I do like Montreal's team total in this one over the 3.5 at plus 112. I think they're able to find the back of the net of Mackenzie Blackwood in this matchup. Mackenzie Blackwood has allowed so many goals as of late, especially. He's got a 3.87 goals against average and a save percentage of 0.890. I can't trust Mackenzie Blackwood to stop the Montreal Canadiens, even with the Canadiens on the back-to-back. Now, they did lose that last game to the Flyers last night. It was a shutout or a shootout loss here. So disappointing to see. 3-2 finish on the road. So then they had to travel back home, but I still think they have the ability to get this win. Now, the last time they played the Sharks, they did get a 3-2 win. And the Sharks have won 7 of the last 10, but Montreal's won 3 of the last 4. So I do think Montreal has every ability to get this win, even after playing last night. It's the Sharks, you guys, and the Sharks have been up and down. They've lost their last 12 games. Let's make it 13 with another loss tonight. The Leafs on the road was their last loss, 7-1. I do think Montreal could do the same thing to them here. This is a Montreal team that beat the New York Rangers, so I think they have what it takes. The last 2 games, though, for Montreal have gone to a shootout. So this, we could see tired legs. That's why I like the team total over 3.5, because if we see defense break down a little bit while Sam Montague can stand on his head, I think it's just safer to look at this team offensively and what they can get done, because we know this Sharks team did go on a pretty nice winning streak, beating some really good teams. Now, Shane Monahan was good to us last night. I think Shane Monahan will be good to us again tonight. Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield. You guys know I circle all of them to be able to get those points on the board. Now, the problem with Montreal getting the win is that puck line record on their second leg of a back-to-back as a favorite is not good. They struggle to cover that puck line on that second night. They've gone 0-9 as a favorite on the second night of a back-to-back. So I would stay off Montreal except for their team total. I think it's the best bet in this one. Sharks looked terrible against the Leafs. Yeah, they looked brutal out there. Montreal playing freestyle hockey. I love what we're seeing out of Montreal. The Montreal Canadiens are playing fantastic hockey, that is for sure. Okay, the under half, first 10, Habs find the goal late on. I could see that. I could see that coming for sure, them finding that goal. Montreal is one of those teams that does start off slow in that first period. Whenever we see them come out and get that first goal, I'm always kind of disappointed too, because I love betting Montreal live when they do go down, because we normally see the opponent score. So if you do see the Sharks somehow get that first goal in this game, go in, bet Montreal, plus 1.5 on the puck line. You're going to get some value. The snowstorm warning in Chicago started Friday. Ooh, stay safe over there. Okay, let's look at the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do think this could be another high-scoring battle. We got Demko in net for the Vancouver Canucks, and we know he's solid. We know he's got good numbers here, but the Pittsburgh Penguins offensively really have been impressing me. I really like what we've seen out of Sidney Crosby. So looking at odds on this one, let me just pull it up, you guys. Pittsburgh Vancouver coming in at +110. The Pittsburgh Penguins at -132. Total 6.5. Now you're paying -120 to the over -102 if you think this one will go under that number. I just don't see it staying under there. I do think you look at the first period over 1.5 goals. That's coming in at -132. And I like the both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at +158. I often think when I look at Demko, it seems like if he's going to get hit, it's going to be quick in that first period. This is game 5 on the road for the Vancouver Canucks of a 7-game road trip. So I do think we're getting to the tired end of this team defensively. Now they've won their last 3. They got the win over the New York Islanders on Tuesday. They were the dog in that one as well. 5-2. I do think that they could get the win here, but I really do think this is a 4-3 style game. This could go to overtime. I really do think it's a coin flip when we come down to it at the end of the day. I know the Vancouver Canucks have been so strong offensively, but you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, this team has been strong as well. 3.05 goals per game, averaging 33.4 shots on net, which is 4th best in the league. The power play isn't fantastic. It's actually not good. I don't like their power play. It's only converting at 14.7%. The Canucks, on the other hand, that 23.1%, so 11th best overall in the league. But it's kind of negated by the kill here. We see the kill coming in for the Pittsburgh Penguins at 82.5%, so 10th best overall. And the kill not phenomenally strong for the Vancouver Canucks at 77.5. So I think those two really offset each other nicely. I do think we'll see the goals in this one. Sidney Crosby for the anytime goal +135. And Pettersson here for 2+ points. I like tonight as well. I just have to look at what the 2+ points was. We actually were locked out of FanDuel for a little bit on some of these player props. They must have been putting stuff back up. And I just want to make sure there's enough value. So Sidney Crosby for the power play points coming in at +155. Again, I think the power play isn't strong enough for them for me to like that. 2+ points is +180 for Sidney Crosby. And I do like that tonight. Okay. Let's take a look at the next game here. So yeah, best bet in that one's it's the first period, over 1.5 and both teams to score. The New Jersey Devils taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. This one kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern as well. Now, when we look at these two teams, the Devils are missing so many players. Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton. But the underdog has won the last 3 meetings between these two. The Lightning have won 7 of the last 10 and 4 of the last 5. So the Lightning have been the underdog in a lot of these cases. Now, Vanacek expected in net for the Devils and Andre Vasilevsky for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You guys know what I think of the Devils, and I love their ability to get those goals. And the Lightning as well have been so strong offensively. I do think this is another high-scoring battle. It's crazy how many games look like they're going to be high-scoring battles. I'm going to, though, look at the Lightning in the first period. I think the Lightning can come out and dominate over the Devils in that first period. You can take them on the puck line, laying the half a goal in the first period. That's coming in at +146. Now, if you're nervous and you don't mind laying juice, you could take them on the money line at -150. I just won't lay that kind of juice, but I wouldn't knock you if you did. But when you look at the Lightning here on the money line, they have cashed on the money line in 30 of their last 43 home games. So you'd get a ROI of 26% in that first period, just betting them in the first period on that money line at home. So I like them here. I think puck line they can cover. I was kind of flirting with the over 1.5 in the first period, but it's too juicy at -142. I think the Lightning could get both of those goals themselves, and that's why I was looking at it. We have seen the New Jersey Devils fail to cover the puck line in their last 4 games as a dog. So this team has been struggling in the dog situation to keep these games tight. Now, this is the first game of a 3-game road trip for the New Jersey Devils. They have the Panthers on Saturday and the Bruins on Monday. So this isn't an easy road trip. Could they go 0-3 in this road trip? Absolutely. The Panthers and the Bruins are not a team that I would want to face without Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton. It's going to be a hard battle for this team to be able to get a win on the road trip. I do think tonight is their best bet to get the win, but I don't want to put my money on them. It's the Lightning in the first period. Puck line for me. Now, if you're looking at goal scorers, I wouldn't count out Tyler Toffoli of the New Jersey Devils. I think he really has to step up with Jack Hughes and Timo Meier out. So Tyler Toffoli coming in at plus 185. He had 5 shots on goal versus Vancouver the last game out and a goal versus Chicago. So I do like what we've seen out of him. Luke Hughes, you know you're going to get so much value on the offensive defenseman here. Luke Hughes at plus 550 for the anytime goal. He's had a point or more in 5 of his last 10 games, so definitely someone to look at. He's had 3 goals and 4 assists in the last 6 games as well. So he's been making us money out there. You can look at his points. You can look at his shots tonight. He definitely needs to step up on the ice for this team to be able to keep this one tight. Now, looking at the Lightning here, I love Stamkos for that anytime goal. He's coming in at plus 160. He's been getting the shots. He should connect in this one. 12 goals, 9 assists in 20 games at home versus the New Jersey Devils. So we have seen him be able to hit the back of the net of the Devils. So let's see if he can get it done in this one. I love the value at plus 160. If you're looking for a long shot here, a defenseman that does fire away, you can look at Victor Hedman. Anytime goal, plus 410 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's been getting those points on the board. And yes, while they haven't come in the form of the goal, I really could see the goal coming in for him tonight. Just kind of gut feeling at plus 410. And then, Braden Point, always someone you want to look at there for the Lightning. I just don't like going with those guys where you're getting like minus 110 for the anytime goal. I just don't find enough value on it. Okay, Stamkos for the anytime goal. I love that you went with Stamkos for that anytime goal as well. First period, a safe bet. Yeah, I like that first period. We know the Lightning come out in that first period so phenomenally strong. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if the Lightning came out, got 2 goals. We saw 1 out of the Devils, both teams to score over 1.5 in the first period, all cashing, and the Lightning puck line first period cashing. So I wouldn't be shocked. These 2 teams definitely can come out nice and strong. Next game on deck here. We have the Seattle Kraken taking on the Washington Capitals. This game, I don't love, you guys. The Seattle Kraken have been rolling so hot. I do think this one, though, isn't the offensive game that we've seen out of the Kraken in some of these. I don't think they're scoring a lot of goals. I like the under 5.5. The under 5.5 coming in at minus 102. We have the Seattle Kraken laying 1.5 on that puck line. If you like it, is coming in at plus 190 because I'm looking at an under. I wouldn't look there. The Washington Capitals, you can't get any value on that puck line. The Seattle Kraken on the money line, minus 132 and plus 110 on the Washington Capitals. Just give me the under 5.5. That's all I want to touch here. We have Joey Decord, who's been phenomenal for the Kraken. He's got a 2.28 goals against average and a 0.923 save percentage. I cannot believe what we've seen out of him. And then Darcy Kemper for the Washington Capitals, 3.24 goals against average, save percentage of 0.893. I do think we see a strong performance out of Kemper. A look-ahead situation here for the Washington Capitals, which I'm not in love with. They've got 2 games versus the Rangers on deck, home on Saturday, road on Sunday. So that is a Metro battle. They're in the Metropolitan Division. They're sitting 6th in the division. The Rangers are sitting 1st. I could see this being a look past, especially as we go deeper into this game. I think they're going to want to lock down defensively because they know they're going to have to do that versus the Rangers. So I think this is a top defensive game between both of these teams. And the Seattle Kraken, how hot they've been rolling, winning their last 7. You guys, I can't jump on board with the Seattle Kraken now. You know that I haven't been buying into this team and everything we've been seeing. And I know this team has the talent. I just can't get there. They split the last 4 matchups 2-2 versus each other. So they haven't played a lot of games. But if you're looking at the Seattle Kraken, even though I'm liking lower scoring, Jared McCann, Vince Dunn, I would be looking at them for their points on the board. I'm not betting any player props. Alex Ovechkin here, though, for the Washington Capitals. We've seen him go over a point or more in 7 of his last 10. Carlson as well has been so strong. 5 of his last 10 games, he's had a point or more. And Dylan Strome here has gone over a point or more in 6 of his last 10. So definitely players, if you're looking for those player props to circle. I just won't be betting any player props. I'm just taking the under 5.5. Okay, let's look at the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the New York Islanders. Current odds over on FanDuel, you guys. The Leafs coming in at -134, plus 112 on the New York Islanders. Total 6.5, -114 to the over, -106 to the under. Martin Jones has been so strong here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This team has won their last 4 games. They beat the Sharks 7-1. I look at who they beat, though. I'm just not buying into the Maple Leafs, you guys. And we know they're going to really get up for this game here versus the Islanders. But I don't know if they can beat the Islanders with the Islanders at home. I don't buy into Toronto. And every time we get comfortable betting this team, it's when they let us down. So the last 4 games, they beat the Sharks twice. They beat the Ducks, but that went to overtime. And then they steamrolled over the Kings, but we've seen the loss streak the LA Kings are on right now. So that doesn't impress me much either. They got a 3-0 win over the LA Kings. I do think the Islanders with the value here at plus 114, call me crazy and call me absolutely insane because this Islanders team I don't trust either. But at home, I think I have to. They're sitting 10-5, 4-2 at home on the season. This team averaging 3.05 goals per game. Their power play is connecting at 23.9%, which is 9th best overall in the league. And yes, the power play here is stronger for Toronto at 27%, 6th best overall. They are firing more on net as well, averaging 33.4 shots on goal. On paper, this is all Toronto, but when I look at this matchup, I think they're going to have a hard time rolling in here just because you look at the teams they've played. They've faced the Sharks twice in a row. This Islanders team is going to be hungry. They lost their last 2 games. Vancouver, they played on Tuesday. They lost that one 5-2. They're going to want to get back into a winning situation here. They did win the last matchup over them as well. They won at 4-3 in OT. So it's the Islanders for me. The Leafs, just as of late, are generating so many opportunities. They're firing like crazy. And this is my problem because the Islanders are giving up so many opportunities. This team is allowing an average of 35.1 shots on goal per game. Sorokin absolutely has to stand on his head. So because I'm leaning on the Islanders, I think my favorite bet here is the Sorokin save shots on goal coming in at 29.5. We know the Toronto Maple Leafs, man. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be able to get those shots in this one today. They're averaging 33.4 shots on goal per game. And like I said, the Islanders allow Sorokin or whoever is in net to be absolutely peppered, giving up some of the most shots on goal per game at that 35.1. So Sorokin over 29.5. I think the Leafs clear close to 40 shots in this game. You look at them over this win streak as of late, they're averaging 40.6 shots on goal per game with an average of 4.1 goals per game expected in 60 minutes. So I do think this is a prime opportunity for Sorokin to win the Islanders this game. He hasn't been looking like himself this season. That number of 3.2, I expected him to have the 2.13 goals against average on the season, not a 3.2. So I do think this is a phenomenal chance for him to come out nice and strong. Now, the Islanders have won 2 of the last 3 meetings as well. And I do think with how strong this defense has been for Toronto and their goaltending with Martin Jones, regression is coming for this team. So if you're looking at props in this one, I would look at Toronto still for their shots on goal. William Nylander, Tavares. The Islanders hate Tavares. So Tavares always steps up when he faces the Islanders. Austin Matthews, Tyler Bertuzzi here. All of them. I do think they go over their shot props in this one. The Islanders, every time I bet an Islanders prop, they let me down. Bo Horvat was the last player to let me down, so I'm just going to stay off of them. And let's look at the next game. Sorokin has to play better. Yeah, they have lost the last two as well. So St. Louis Blues firing coach not to lead them. Yeah, it's not always the coach's fault, but Ovi still game time decision. Yeah, and that's a hard thing with Ovechkin if he's not going to play in this one. That's why I just like the under last man. I think it's the best way to look at that game. I really can't take a side between the Seattle Kraken and the Washington Capitals because I just don't believe in the Seattle Kraken to keep extending this win streak. I think there's a lot of teams you look at on losing streaks and on winning streaks right now, and at some point the coin has to flip for these teams. I just don't know if it's tonight for the Kraken. We will see what happens in that one. Let's look at the next game here. The New York Rangers taking on the St. Louis Blues. The New York Rangers coming into this matchup. Let me just find the odds here, you guys. So many games on the slate. The New York Rangers at -172 plus 140. For the St. Louis Blues, total 6.5. Now, the 6.5 is to the under at -128 to the over at +104. I do think the Rangers are the side to be on in this game. This team is so deep, and we look at how well their power play is converting. The best power play overall in the league, converting at 30%. They're dominating those faceoffs too, winning 54.2% of the faceoff, which is third best overall in the league. The St. Louis Blues, Jordan Binnington in net. Igor Shesterkin here for the New York Rangers. Even though the Rangers are on the road, I definitely think this is the team that you need to bet on tonight. Now, they've lost their last two games. They lost the last one to the Vancouver Canucks 6-3. They're going to be wanting to come out here nice and hard and fast and to get a lead on the St. Louis Blues. Now, the Blues lost their last game to the Panthers. They got destroyed in that one, 5-1. That was on Tuesday at home. They have the Bruins on deck here on Saturday. Now, the Capitals are on deck for the New York Rangers, and they have a home and away schedule with the Capitals. They play the Capitals on the road Saturday and then home again on Sunday versus the Capitals. So, while I do think that's kind of a little bit of a look ahead to the Washington Capitals there, I don't think it's enough for this team not to come out strong and get this win. I do expect the New York Rangers to win this in a low-scoring game. I think it's a 3-2 style game here for the New York Rangers. So that puck line looking nice and healthy in this one. The puck line -1.5 at +142 for the full game here for the New York Rangers. The under 6.5 at -128. I don't love the juice, but I do think it's a solid way to go. The first period under 1.5 coming in at -104. I love that as well. My favorite bet, though, in this game is the St. Louis Blues team total under 2.5. We're getting plus money. You guys know that's what I'm searching for. +108 to the under 2.5 for the St. Louis Blues. Now, they've only averaged 1.38 goals per game in the last 5 games. Their defense has been strong, though. They've allowed only 2.56 goals per game in their last 5 as well. So this is a team that has been strong defensively, hasn't been getting the goals. I'm going to take their team total to the under. I do think the Rangers puck line first period, the under 1.5 first period, solid way to look. But I do think puck line full game 3-1. Panarin, his shots on goal tonight, he's been so phenomenal out there for the Rangers. That anytime goal I'd look at as well. But it's kind of hard to look at those anytime goals in a matchup like this where I think it's only going to be 3 goals on the board. Chris Kreider has been strong and Adam Fox as well for the Rangers. Okay, let's look at the next one here, you guys. Yeah, the Blues can't find the net. That is for sure. The Rangers can't lose 3 in a row. The minute we think the Rangers can't lose 3 in a row is the minute they're going to lose 3 in a row. They better not lose 3 in a row tonight. That is all I'm saying. In New York, the Islanders, Toronto lost. In New York, the Toronto lost the last 3 games. Ooh, reading is not a strong suit today, you guys. Yeah, I think Toronto is going to struggle with the Islanders tonight. The next game, I told you, dad's trip here for the Calgary Flames. They're taking on the Arizona Coyotes. The Arizona Coyotes at home in Mullet Arena. Not a place I normally want to go against this team. They're coming in at plus 108, but I have to tonight versus the Calgary Flames, minus 130 here for the Calgary Flames, total of 6.5. Now that's 6.5 plus 100 to the over, minus 122 to the under. I just look at Calgary in this one. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings versus the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes did win the last one, though. It was 4-3 in overtime, if memory serves me correct. But these teams play again on Tuesday in Calgary. I think Calgary is able to get the win. Jacob Markstrom expected in net tonight. Vamelka here for the Arizona Coyotes. I just really like what we've seen out of Calgary. And now Calgary got that nice big win over the Sens. I didn't think they were going to be able to get it done with just how strong the Sens have played them over the years. But we're seeing a really strong lockdown of this team. Defensively, we're seeing this team come out nice and strong offensively as well. Now, we also have the Arizona Coyotes off the overtime win versus the Boston Bruins. So that was a really hard battle. They got a 4-3 win in that one. They can come in with momentum in this one. But I just don't think at the end of the day they will be able to get the win. And we're getting a short price on the Calgary Flames in this. I'm going to look at the Calgary Flames in that first period. I do think Calgary in the first period on the puck line laying half a goal, really solid way to go. Because we look at the Arizona Coyotes, they've lost their last 7 first periods as a dog. We cashed, fading them in that last game versus the Boston Bruins. I had the Boston Bruins puck line. The Arizona Coyotes allowed them to cover that puck line in the first period and then came back and got the win. I just think it's a really solid way to go with this team here. So look for Calgary to go up in that first period, cover that puck line. Hopefully Jacob Markstrom can keep that puck out of the back of his net, at least for the first period. If you want to go in and live bet the Arizona Coyotes when they go down, that's something I'm not against. We know how scrappy this team is and their will and their drive to come back. I just think Calgary is the right side. But if you're looking for Arizona, I really do think Calgary goes up in this game and you're going to get more value then on the Arizona Coyotes. Now, these two teams have trended to the over 3 of their last 4 games, going to the over. I'm not going to touch that at all. I'm just going to look at that one for the first period. I'm just realizing I'm missing talking about the Chicago Blackhawks. Let's talk about the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Winnipeg Jets. They're coming in at plus 290, minus 375 here for the Winnipeg Jets, total 5.5, minus 110 to either way. Now, I do think this 5.5 is because of the lack of faith in the Chicago Blackhawks to put the puck in the back of the net. Their team total is very low. It's at 1.5. I'm still going to take it to the under 1.5 in this. It's coming in at plus 134. Boussois is confirmed in net for the Winnipeg Jets, and this team has been rolling so absolutely hot. They got that win at home on Tuesday versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. They got the shutout win there. I do love what I'm seeing out of this team. I'm not willing to take the full game under because I think we could see them come out and put up a ton of goals themselves. We know Chicago is struggling. Connor Bedard did have surgery on his fractured jaw, so he's going to be out of this lineup for 6 to 8 weeks. This is not a good recipe for the Chicago Blackhawks. This team is going to struggle, and they're going to struggle hard. The last time these two teams matched up was back just after Christmas, before New Year's, and Chicago won it. They still didn't, well, they did go over the total of 1.5, didn't go over 2.5 goals, so they won it 2-1. I do think this could be a 2-1 win here, or a 5-1 win here for the Winnipeg Jets. I'm looking for Winnipeg to have a really strong night. I'm going to look at the Winnipeg Jets in the first period on that puck line, laying that half a goal. That's coming in at minus 104. I'm going to look at the Chicago Blackhawks team total under 1.5. That's plus 134. They've gone under 2 goals in 6 of their last 10. And the defense and goaltending is so phenomenally strong for the Winnipeg Jets. I do think they have the upper hand. I think they could cover the puck line for the full game as well. I just don't love the juice, minus 1.5 at minus 138. So Battle of the Central, 8th and 1st in the Central going at it. Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets on that puck line. I think if I was going to take a puck line, I would take an extended puck line just because I want more value. So I don't want -134 laying 1.5. It's not enough for me. So I'm always looking for value. Thompson is expected in net. Aiden Hill with the bug. The under 6. Yeah, we're going to look at that one. I do like the under 6 with Vegas tonight. Yeah, Doug, my mom is going to be happy every time she watches and I'm not picking Calgary. She's never impressed. And then who's the biggest smack talker in the world if Calgary goes up really quick? Even if she has no clue if they're going to win like the rest of the game, she's talking smack and she's texting me always from games, but she's in Calgary right now. The Flames. Yeah, the Flames. I think they own the Coyotes as well. Ingram not playing. Okay. Let's look. Yeah, we've got Vejmelka in. Not Connor Ingram. Vejmelka has a 3.13 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. The power play is actually strong for the Arizona Coyotes, which is really surprising to me how strong this team has come out on that power play, converting at 23.2%, which is 10th best overall in the league. But the kill here, really strong for Calgary as well, 83.8%. We have one game left, you guys. It's already 6:21. Game Times Decisions has kicked off, so make sure you go over and check that out after. Also, check out the SportsGrid app. Did you know you can follow me over there? I don't want to sound like an infomercial, but it is so much great information over on the app. You don't want to miss out. If you follow myself, you'll get notifications and that kind of thing. I follow myself. I don't get notifications. So you won't get notifications, but you can go on there and see all of my bets in everything. I'm going to start doing a hockey short over there for them and clips from all the shows. I'm on Sports Rage as well tonight at, I think, 10:20 Eastern. So 8:20 my time. Yeah, 10:20 Eastern. So make sure you join me over there. Last game, the Boston Bruins taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's look at odds in this one. The Boston Bruins -130, Vegas Golden Knights +108. Total of 6.5, -124 to the under, +102 to the over. I can't take this one over that total. I really do think both of these teams locked down defensively. My only fear here is Vegas has been having so many struggles that the Boston Bruins almost go over this total on their own. Thompson expected in net tonight. We'll see what happens with this one. Swayman expected here for the Boston Bruins. Now, Allmark got hurt in that game versus the Coyotes. It didn't look good. He was reaching up to save a shot from Logan Cooley, and it's almost like he pulled something in his lower body because he just went straight down on the ice, couldn't get up, and they kind of not wheeled him off. He was on his own 2 feet, but he was not moving his skates there. He was just being pushed along by his players. So hopefully Allmark is back sooner than later for this team. We know Swayman has been strong for the Boston Bruins, so he can definitely hold his own. This team averaging that 3.35 goals per game and 30.4 shots on goal. Now that power play is 5th best over on the league, converting at 27.9%. Strong power play here for the Vegas Golden Knights at 21.2. That's 15th best overall in the league, averaging 32 shots on goal per game. My problem here with Vegas is just how they have looked in their last couple of games. They're on the second night of a back-to-back after getting shut out versus the Colorado Avs. They looked not tired. I can't even explain how they looked out there on the ice. It wasn't good. It wasn't like they were playing to win a game. It was almost like they were playing just to not let the Avs rack up the goals. But every time if you looked away, all of a sudden they were back in their end and the Avs were firing on their goaltending. So struggles here. Definitely for Vegas and what we've seen out of this team. They are back at home in this one. This team at home is 14-4-2 at home on the season. Boston being strong on the road, though, 12-5-4-1. I do think it's Boston in the first period. We keep cashing with Boston in the first period. I love them on that puck line. We got them versus the Arizona Coyotes. They have lost their last 2, both in OT. So we know this team knows the importance of getting up and then playing a strong defensive game. They cannot have Vegas come back how the Arizona Coyotes came back on them last night. So I do expect this team to be able to lock down after they go up. I'm going to take them first period puck line laying the half a goal. That's coming in at plus 178. And I'm going to take the under 6.5. Vegas has only won 3 of their last 10 games. It's just not good numbers. Not a team that I want to back. Sorry, the Boston Bruins aren't on their second night of the back-to-back. It is Vegas here on the second night of a back-to-back. I misspoke there. I just can't believe how poorly they showed up versus the Avs. 3-0. It's just not what we needed. I needed 2 goals. I wanted that exact score. I believe it was plus 1,200. If the Avs won that exact score, it was plus 1,400 if Vegas did. So not what I wanted to see. Give me Charlie McAvoy if I'm looking at anyone for their points tonight, the defenseman here, or David Pastrnak for the Boston Bruins. I like both of them to come out. You had to get those points. David Pastrnak for the anytime goal. But that is everything, you guys. Major slate today in Vegas. Yeah, this game is in Vegas. We will see. They've been a different team in Vegas. Yeah, I know. They've been a different team in Vegas, but it's the Boston Bruins, and with this team having so many struggles, I just don't know if I can get behind them. I like the under 1.5 as well in the first period, Kev, for this game. I really do think these teams lock down. I would look at the no goal in the first 10 minutes as well. I do think that is possible. You're like in Boston. Boston to send a message. I would love to see them be able to get it done. Vegas on the money line from Alex. I want to wish you guys all the best. Boston comes out flying. Any first period bet. Yeah, I love Boston. First period here. That's my favorite bet of that game. Laying the half a goal in the first period. You guys, you got the app. I am so glad you guys have the app. Thank you so much for downloading it. It's an awesome app. There's props. There's everything on there. There's clips also from the shows. So it's so much information and it's free. So the links are below on YouTube. On X, the links will be below right after I'm done here as well. So go click on that. If you're clicking on the links I give you, then they do know that it is coming from people that I've recommended to the app. So that does help me out as well, you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you for being here on the daily. Thank you. Let's have a good one. Let's make some freaking money. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.